Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. There's a little bit of an angle change. I don't usually film from this angle of my room, but you know, I decided to try it out. I'm sitting in my bed and let's get comfortable because I'm going to be talking for a while. In today's video, you guys can probably already tell by the title, I'm going to be showing you guys how I edit. I have some notes here, a lot of notes. Let's just get started. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about how I film and edit, and let's get right into my equipment. I don't know if you guys can hear Maisy licking herself, but if you do, sorry. So for filming, I use my Canon M50. It's not like as small as the G7X, which a lot of like vloggers use. I decided to get the M50 because it's the same price, but it's more versatile. I also use tripods to hold up the cameras, of course. I used to not have a handheld tripod. I used to only have this big tripod that my camera's on right now, and that one is the Dynex DX TRP60. This one I got from Amazon, and it's the Photo Pro flexible tripod, and it has like flexible legs, and you could wrap it around like poles and stuff, and I think that's really cool. It's comfortable to hold too. I also film on my phone sometimes. If I don't have my camera, I'll just pull out my phone and start filming. Next, we're gonna move on to lighting. So for lighting, I use my desk lamp, and I don't know if you guys can tell right now, but I just have some warm lighting on. It really depends on your preference because I like my videos with warm lighting, and then some people like their videos with like bright white fluorescent lighting. That light is pretty much like a ring light. My desk lamp it's like the best desk lamp ever. It's so cool. I can adjust it however I want. Aside from the lamp, I also use my window as natural lighting, because you know, natural lighting is like the best lighting, but my room is at the back of the house, so direct sunlight doesn't get back here, and it's mostly just sky light, so it's more cool tone light, and honestly I don't like the look of that on my videos. It's on preference. Some people might like cooler lighting, some people might like the way natural lighting looks. Let's move on to actual editing. So for editing, I use my MacBook Air with Final Cut Pro on it, and then I use my iPad and my Apple Pencil for doing those little animations and my thumbnails, which I'll get into later. On my iPad I use Procreate. I'll be explaining how I get my videos to look like a long 43-minute video crunched into an 8-minute video. So usually the only reason why videos take up so much time and are so long is because there will be pauses, and sometimes I'll take a deep breath like you know, or like sometimes there'll be pauses like this because I'm like losing my train of thought. Usually you want to cut that part out. The first step is, I usually call it the rough cut. I cut out unnecessary parts. I cut out any parts where I'm repeating what I say. Sometimes I cut out my ums, and I'll cut out any unnecessary rambling. And then I start to overlay my clips. I don't do this on all my videos because sometimes it's not necessary, but sometimes I'll be talking, and you know, instead of me talking right now and then showing you guys how I do everything later, I might as well just talk right now and then overlay a clip of me showing you guys how I edit on top of that, right? So I'll drag the clip on top of the clip of me talking, so my voice will still be there, but then the clip will be showing what I do. I haven't been doing this in my videos lately, but if you guys watched my chill day in my life, the shopping one where I went with Cynthia and Emily, I was talking about how we were in the parking garage, but the audio wasn't great because it echoed. Okay, next part is I start working on the transitions, and I have two key transitions that I use. I use a white screen with a mouse click, which will look like this. And then I'll use a slide effect and a swoosh sound effect, and it'll look like this. And then I start adding sound effects. So the transitions, I add the sound effects in beforehand, but once all the transitions are done, I start moving on to sound effects. So I use music from Thematic Music, which is like a free non-copyright music website that a lot of YouTubers use. It has a really nice audio library. I also use some sounds from the Final Cut Pro audio library. They're called jingles. So if you ever hear my videos, you hear something that sounds like this is from the Final Cut Pro library. I also use sound effects that I import from YouTube. So I'll go on YouTube and search up, like, let's say mouse click sound effect, I just search a mouse click sound effect, and I go on to this website that converts like a YouTube video into an MP3 file. Then I move on to start adding texts and little titles. I use two fonts mainly. Three fonts, sorry. I use Tulips, and it's actually my own font. I made it when I was bored in quarantine, just with my own handwriting, and I usually use this font only for my intros. The next one that I use is Helvetica. I also use this font called Gungseo. It's just another version of all those standard fonts like Georgia and Times New Roman and stuff, but I like the look of it. I use the two title formats from Procreate. Not Procreate. I keep mixing the Final Cut Pro. And I use basic title and typewriter. So basic title, it just pops up on the screen, and typewriter, it'll look like someone's typing on the screen. It'll pop up letter by letter, and I use that for my intros. After I get all the text done, I'll usually add some animations if I feel like it, or I can also make it look like someone's writing on the screen. So it'll look like this, or animations will look like this. And I do that by going on my iPad on Procreate, and I draw multiple layers of a certain thing. So let's say if I'm drawing a heart, I'll draw multiple layers of that heart. I'll do it in 3 different layers. Usually 2 or 3 is fine. And then I will save it. I'll remove the background so that it's like a PNG. There won't be a white background behind it. I'll save it as a animated PNG or animated GIF, and I'll put it on top of my videos. For the writing on the screen, I screen record myself writing on my iPad with like a green or a blue screen in the background, and I just write on it. I screen record it, and then I overlay it on top of my videos like I do with everything else, but instead of just leaving it on there, obviously there would be a blue screen. I use a keyer. I drag it into the green screen clip, and then it kind of makes it transparent in the background. Sorry, I'm like losing my breath. I took a nap today, and I woke up with like a stuffed nose because I slept in the wrong position, I guess, and my nose is like congested, but I'm fine now. My voice is a little rough. Towards the end of the video, once I have everything laid out and everything the way I want it, I'll start working on the intro of the video. So that's when you'll see the montages in the very beginning of the video. Like, it gives you an idea of what's gonna go inside the video, or what you'll see when you continue watching the video. So then I just take little significant clips of the video from the timeline, and I copy it, and then I scroll all the way to the beginning of the video and I paste it onto there, and I just do that until I have a decent amount of clips, and then I'll add some music. I usually use upbeat music because then it makes the montage look more interesting, instead of if I have a montage and it's really boring music, then no matter how fun the montage looks, it's just gonna look not very cute. And then I use typewriter with my Tulips font, and I just write the title or a variation of the title onto that part of the clip. And sometimes I will leave out the sound of the clips in the montage if it's unnecessary, or sometimes if I'm like laughing or it's like a vlog and someone says something funny or whatever, then I'll leave in the audio. And in the very end, I usually try to color grade my videos a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out color grading because I am not the best at it, for sure. Like, sometimes I feel like my videos will look too cool toned or too like bluish, so I'll try to bring more oranges or yellows into the video. And I use this adjustment layer thing that I got from Elise's video. She didn't make it, but she had a video on how to color grade, and she linked it in her description. I'll link her video in the description. But I use the adjustment layer, and then I drag a color board into that adjustment layer. When you download it, it's in the titles category, and you add it on, and it looks like it's a title, but it's actually just like a base so that you can layer coloring onto it. And I don't add any like crazy filters or anything. I would love to start doing that, but honestly, I've never been good at editing color or filtering my videos or photos. In my how to have fun while being productive video, I messed up because I did not realize that my camera was on this color setting where it made everything like a bluer, it made everything like cool toned. When I was filming, everything was super cool toned, and it made my walls look blue, and it made everything look weird, so I didn't like that. And I tried to bring up the global color and make it more orangey, and I just play around with it. I honestly don't know what any of that means. I don't know what I'm doing, but I play around with it until it looks decent. Sometimes I never get it to work and I just have to like deal with the fact that it looks a little green or a little too blue or a little too pink, whatever. Yeah, I just play around with it until it's like nice. That's pretty much it for my videos, and then I save it and then I start uploading it to YouTube, and then I work on my thumbnail. So thumbnail, I go back to my iPad. I'll take screenshots of the videos if I feel it's necessary, or sometimes, you know, I'm vlogging and I'll tell my friends to pose for a thumbnail and then I take a screenshot of that. Sometimes I add like blobs of pictures into the thumbnail if I want to add another picture on top of the whole thumbnail, but I don't want to make it boring by adding like a square. It looks like it doesn't flow naturally into the thumbnail. I'll use the lasso tool and I'll just make like a little blob of the picture, and then it will cut out a blob. I'll put it on there and then I kind of trace around it with like white. After I have all the pictures down, I'll start writing. I'll start making doodles. I use like a brush that looks like it's like a pencil, and I just start writing. I also add like a shadow to the writing so that sometimes the white doesn't pop out very much in my thumbnails. So I'll duplicate the layer and then I'll alpha lock the second layer. Alpha locking makes it like you can only paint on top of what's already there, so you can't color outside of the lines. And then I'll just paint on top of the second layer and make it a different color, and then I'll move it to the side so there's like a shadow. That's pretty much it. I am out of breath, but this was a very long video to film. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. If you were ever curious about how I edit my videos, then I guess your question's answered now. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications to get a notification every time I post. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!